Kenzie Burke is back on the show. If you guys have not listened to her first episode, I feel like it was years ago.
6 years.
6 years ago. And I wanted to invite her personally back on the show without Michael on because I feel like this is almost like a girls catch up and we don't need his opinions. So I asked her to come on the show and I just thought I would catch up with her and hear her story over the last 6 years because you've really laid it out on the line and you've really taken us through all your ups and downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, now your beautiful brand. And I wanted to tell that story to the audience because it's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I think first we'll start out with after you were off the podcast, what happened? Because the last time we saw you, it was very food focused.
It was very food focused. So I kind of fell into the wellness industry. This was before TikTok. This was 2019, you were pregnant with Zaza.
Oh my God, that's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost 6 years ago.
I think it was 6 years, this exact fall.
You're right.
So I ended up I was in the styling industry before that. I was working for Danny Michelle. I was doing all that. And then I got really into wellness kind of on accident, but I'm very passionate, as you've seen over the past 6 years. So if I get passionate about something, I like to create something and make something. And at that time, I had 2,000 followers on Instagram. I was I was babysitting on the weekends and driving kids to school for $20. And I was going to intern for free. And I made this PDF that ended up going really viral. Before TikTok, before videos, it just went really viral. And so I was this food girl and I wrote it because it was exciting. I went from babysitting and then I was printing cash. I made $500,000 in 2 months from a PDF and my whole life changed. So then I was on the podcast and right before I was on your podcast, I got a lot of backlash, a ton of backlash that I was kind of quiet about right when it happened. But I bring that up because it really played such a role in the past 6 years of my own story because I got canceled essentially.
And take us to pause. You take us back to you're babysitting.
So I'm babysitting,
and you go to making $500,000. What
in 2 months?
Yeah. What is that like? Because that's not a normal thing. Explain what your headspace was like then.
Yeah, I mean, I can really see what my headspace was now, and that it changed my perception on money. And I had to go, which we'll get into later, I had to go relearn money because I thought that was just, I was like, oh, I can do that whenever. Just make a PDF, no overhead. I can make $500,000 whenever. It's not a big deal. But at the time, I don't even know. I was shocked. I was happy. I went balls to the walls. I got a Range Rover. I got the apartment, the Restoration Hardware furniture. But I also was trying, I don't think I knew how to hold it. And I was wanting more. I was immediately I have to turn this into something. I have to make a product line. I have to make an app. I was kind of frantic with it. But I was also having the time of my life. I was hustling. I moved to LA at 18. At the end of 17, 18. So 18 to, I think I was 24, 23 when that happened. I worked 7 days a week, not stopping.
Where does that work ethic come from?
I had to. Well, it really came from, I was born and raised in Wisconsin. I didn't grow up with money at all. And since I was born, I remember being 2, but I just was this is not my life. This is not my life. And I started babysitting when I was 10 and I started making my own money.
So you just knew you were made for more?
Yes. Yes. I was a fighter and a rebel in the sense of I could not stay in a school system. I went up a grade, down a grade. I was homeschooled, public school, private school. I was just trying to graduate.
I think that's why I specifically was I need to get her on here to tell the story is there's this unsettledness about you where you seem like you won't compromise anything less than extraordinary. And if it's not extraordinary, you're not going to sit in it.
And I'll hold out or I will try something new and publicly do it. I'll do whatever. I'm so determined to have the bar I've set for myself is very high. and I'll do whatever it takes to get it.
So when you hit a milestone of making $500,000, what is that like with your friends, with your family? I mean, you said you had to relearn money, but like because it is such an abnormal experience.
Yeah.
Were they supportive?
Yes, but it brought a lot up with my own family. Yeah. It what ended up happening, and you said what happened since, was I went on your podcast or your show. Right before that, I had gotten a ton of backlash. So I went from, and I'll just be open and share numbers. I went from some days making $11,000 a day just from a PDF to getting this like insane backlash, waking up to thousands of comments of like, this girl needs to die. She is causing eating disorders. And I didn't understand it because I was coming from an innocent place. And I was talking about eating fruits and vegetables. I mean, it wasn't rocket science. I've watched the whole past 6 years since COVID. Everyone's talking about health and wellness now. But like, I was talking about eating fruit for breakfast, you know?
But what's interesting is I was talking about you to someone the other day. I think it was like a makeup artist. I was like, yeah, I'm interviewing Kenzie Burke. They're like, oh, I love her. And they were telling me like your journey and all this. And I was like, if someone doesn't like her ebook, then just don't buy
it or don't do it.
You're just telling people what you do that works for you. I don't understand how that created such a visceral reaction.
I don't either.
Maybe there's like a projection onto you from them.
Yeah, I will never understand it. And it was like really hard to overcome that for years. I have just finally gotten to a place in the past like year and a half where I'm like, I don't care what you say. A lot more so, like at the time, I was one of the first people to get really taken down. There wasn't Reddit, it was Gossip Guru. Okay, so this was like, I didn't know that now everyone gets taken down. Yeah. Now I would just be like, that sounds like a you problem next. But at the time I was like, oh my gosh, this is so isolating.
So who are you talking to, and who can understand what you're going through? Like, do you talk to your family, your friends?
No one. It was a very isolating experience. And so went on your show, and then COVID hit. And that's when I started to unearth more of like my family dynamics and my friend dynamics, and just started to, because my whole life changed. And so I saw, my parents' reaction, my mom's reaction when I started making money and kind of becoming more in the spotlight. And it did bring a lot up in my own family. And so then I started looking at my family dynamics and my childhood traumas, and that started a whole new journey. And through that, I started to like really ask myself, what do I want to do? Because the food thing, it kind of fell into my lap. And when the world shut down from COVID, I had a moment to like, wait a minute, what am I doing? What am I building here? And I still did it. And I've done it on and off for the past 6 years because it's like supported me for a lot of the time and paid my bills. But it was never what I wanted to do. And I had to overcome the backlash for a lot. Like I made a lot of decisions that I didn't realize at the time were because of the backlash. Like I thought, if I make an app, then I'll be legit. Then people will take me seriously. So I put $200,000 into hand coding an app. I didn't even want to do it. I didn't want to cook recipes all day. That's never what I wanted to do.
You're also very open, and I find very refreshing about being alone.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned being isolated, and you're in COVID, and I think that what is attractive about you to me is like, again, you're not going to settle for anything less than extraordinary. So why bring a friend, a boyfriend, a husband into the equation if it's not
it?
Right.
Yeah.
So if someone's out there, they're listening and they're spending time alone, and you're talking about feeling isolated, what is your advice?
I think you can feel more alone with company that you don't necessarily love or want to be with than you can if you're actually with yourself. But I don't think people understand that because they don't take the time to spend time with themselves. And I have spent so much time with myself in the absolute gutter. Like I have spent so many nights where I didn't even know. I've like went in and out of depression so much in the past like 4 or 5 years. And and really my whole life. Like I always felt very isolated, even as a kid, because I just wasn't like everyone else. I wanted more. I was born and raised in Wisconsin. Like my friends didn't know what I was talking about. All my friends from high school are still in Wisconsin. They all have kids. You know what I mean? Like that is from a town of 4,000 people.
Woo.
So it's not, and I've like built the muscle. I've built the reps. I've done things to make myself uncomfortable. I've moved so many times alone. And I've put myself in so many situations. I've also started and stopped so many different businesses that have put me in the room with different people. And so over time, I just started to build this confidence. Now I feel like I have to work on more how to not be because now I'm like, you have to be literally like a 25 out of 10 because I can give myself everything. Like, what are you going to bring to the table?
Dana White says you have to be an absolute fucking savage.
Yeah.
And he's literally built the most insane situation ever. And he said that he's more driven now at like 56 or whatever he is than at 30. Like you still every day have to wake up and be a savage.
Yeah.
And it's so true. When you were in COVID and you were feeling all these feelings, how did you deal with it?
I dove in to it. And so you asked my advice for anyone, who wants to spend time. It's just, you got to just do it.
Yeah.
I think that's my gift in life is that I'm willing to look at something and just go do it. And I realized during COVID, I had all this stuff that I didn't know I had, like insecurities and mommy traumas and dad traumas and things that upset me from my childhood. So I just dove in. I started reading books. I started talking to people like therapists, like psychics. I tried everything. I went very like spiritual woo-woo and ultimately like came out of that phase. But I just dove into it.
I think it's good to try a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, you can change your mind. Where did we get to this place where people can't change their mind? Like I had a blog design company 10 years ago, but I'm not doing blog design now. I don't know why the internet almost wants to like hold you to a torch that you have to be the same way that you were 5 years ago. If I haven't evolved, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? And they'll be like, well, you said this or you did. It's like you have to give yourself space to change and evolve.
Yeah, and that was my biggest insecurity that I overcame last year, this past year. Because I just felt like people didn't understand. Like I felt so much pressure to figure it out and stick with one thing. And it was when I finally just like blew up on the internet, was just like, I don't give a fuck what you all think about me. And then literally everything fell into place after that.
When you got to that point, I was like, she needs to come on the show because it's cool to be able to watch your evolution and see like it gives people freedom to be able to pivot and change and be flexible. Flexibility is a sign of intelligence. And the fact that people who are so rigid are projecting their rigidness onto other people who want to be flexible is fucking wild.
Yeah.
When you're going through all of this, basically isolation in the pandemic, and all of us are feeling isolated, I'm sure. But when you were in this space, what were some difficult challenges that you felt like you had to overcome when we were all, what is it called again? Quarantined. Was that what it's called?
Quarantine.
What a negative vibration, sick word. Let's like rebrand
I didn't do it.
Oh!
I didn't do it. That's when I started traveling. We ran into each other, I think, in Aspen.
No mask.
I was staying at St. Regis for $100 a night in exchange for some Instagram stories during COVID. I was like living at the St. Regis. So honestly, I loved COVID for that.
COVID was, this is the thing. You can like reframe anything. There were so many things that were good that came out of that. Like whether it was sitting with yourself or diving deeper, like there were so many different things that you could do. I just think it's a bummer to have such a negative outlook about it.
Yeah.
So we ran into each other in Aspen. That's correct. And as you're going through the pandemic, what are you experiencing to get you to the other side?
So that's when I feel like the pandemic kind of sparked not a hard time, but yes, a hard time in my own life. I think that's the best way to put it, because I started to feel like I got really lost during that time. I feel I started to travel. I put my stuff in storage. I went to Wyoming. I went to Aspen. I went to Texas. I went to Miami. I started trying all these different things. I was still trying to like hold the wellness business, but I started to feel like I started to get confused as to who am I? What do I want? Like I was searching for these bigger questions in my own life. Like, what do I want and who am I and where do I want to be? But I was also, my job that I was supposed to be on social media. That's like how I was set up. So I was trying to balance, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this wellness business. Well, I'm also going to be trying to soul search. And then throughout that, I always wanted to do a clothing line since I was a little girl. Like it was always my dream. So it was about a year of traveling. My stuff was in storage. I was a nomad. I had a little falling out with a really good friend. And I just felt like, oh gosh, I'm so far from home. Like I'm so far from routine and home. And I was like, I want to do BRÜLÉ. So I just stopped everything with the wellness business. Just woke up. I had my podcast, Food, Sex, and Money. It was doing so well.
And you stopped.
I just woke up one day. I was like, doors shut to it all of it. I'm doing BRÜLÉ.
BRÜLÉ is such a good name too, because it's like burn it down.
Yeah, it means life after a fire.
I mean, it's really, really smart. So you decide to shut everything down, and what is the reaction to that?
People asked about it for years. And I ultimately went back to it for a little while. But it was the worst decision I've ever made in my entire life, that shutting things down like that.
Why?
Because I shut off my finances. It taught me so much. Like I had this insane, huge engaged audience who were following me and following this journey. And then all of a sudden I just was like, this ain't me anymore. And I'm not doing it. And I want to be a mysterious clothing designer. And I just think now from a business perspective, like I would have lived off of that money and then transitioned it. And, but that's just who I am. Like I cannot stay a day in something if I don't like it. If I'm uncomfortable, if I don't like it, I'm like, and right now where I am at with BRÜLÉ, I teach myself every day. I'm like, I literally talk to myself. You don't like this? That's okay. Everyone goes to work. I like calm myself down.
What is going on mentally through all of this, and what is the voice in your head at this point where we're at in the story?
I'm going to reinvent myself, and it was the same thing that drove me out to California, the same exact voice that's hit every time of I'm going to get what I want, and I'm going to do it how I want to do it.
I personally think, because I've, like I said, gotten to watch you, that voice is what's guided you to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Because you mentioned you're moving. You said you went to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
You were in Austin. You're sort of everywhere, but at the end of the day, there you are.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to like deal with yourself. And I could see how moving, like you just want to like move, and it almost feels like exciting. It's like a dopamine hit, and then you get there and it's like, it feels to me like you still were feeling, okay, I'm not satisfied, this isn't enough, and you just kept going, and that voice in your head was so important to getting you here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah,
that was the biggest lesson I learned.
Yeah, and that's a hard one, I think, for everyone to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure everyone has a story about you think moving, you think going to college, you think getting that job, but then
there you are.
Right.
Once that settles, I would move, everything would be unpacked, and I'd be like, oh, there I am.
So what do you do in those moments?
Keep going. And it got hard. It got really hard. So essentially, long story short, from that whole period was I came back to LA and I started BRÜLÉ for the first time. And that's when I launched it. The first round.
What's the in between from where you just told me to
Mm-hmm.
LA? What's the in between of that?
I just went home. I went back to LA.
You went back to LA?
Yeah.
And
Miami.
You come back from Miami and you just launched it.
I spent months trying. I had a little bit of money, and I moved to Malibu, and I worked my ass off every day. And I was like on a scavenger hunt. I was looking for anyone to give me a chance. I was looking for manufacturers. I did it all on my own. I had no guidance no help. I got extremely screwed over because I was so naive and just was like, I wanted a chance. And so anyone who was willing to give me a chance, I took.
What does that mean you got extremely screwed over?
I lost so much money. So I had a manufacturer who I was I was buying so many units that I didn't need to buy. Sinking money, like, and little things like, oh, these hang tags cost $5,000. I found out they cost $250. Like little stuff like that. What ended up happening was I launched BRÜLÉ. It started to do really well. It was doing really well. I felt so happy. It was like, that's what I always wanted to do. But then there was too many cooks in the kitchen. I had a friendship that was involved in it. And ultimately the problem is the whole time I wasn't listening to my gut. So I always had this idea for BRÜLÉ, which is what I'm doing now, where I would open and close the store. I would never put too much out there, and I wouldn't hold a bunch of inventory, and I wouldn't guess sizes because I know myself. I want to create what's in the moment, what's hot, what's on the press, and everything in my life. And like how I know myself as an artist is it's a moment. And I knew like I still am this way. I can't design spring right now. I'll design spring in February because I don't know. I'm really like, I go with my feeling. And that's what I wanted to do. And I didn't want to buy 500 units of one pair of sweatpants that I was going to have to move. I never wanted to do that. But I had too many cooks in the kitchen. A lot of people I found, and I've learned how to set boundaries, get very attracted to me because I'm ballsy and I'm a go-getter. I'm like, oh, this is a great idea. Let's do it. I'll find the money. I'll figure it out. I'll make it happen. So there's a lot of people that will come in my sphere and be like, let's go. I want to be behind you and do this. And what I found, this has been a repeated pattern. It was from the app. It was from the first time at BRÜLÉ. I'm standing on the edge, almost $1 million deep. And I'm like, where are you people? It's in my name. And I have to move all this and all the money it's in my name. And that was, it happened 3 different times in the wellness business and in this second time with BRÜLÉ that it was just, it was just a really hard lesson to learn.
When you look around and you say, where are all these people? You were attracted to me when I'm executing, but like now when I need help, where are you? When you say that's a pattern, how did you recognize that pattern and how did you change that pattern? Because I think you have changed it from what we can see.
I had our ultimate rock bottom. So I had BRÜLÉ the first time and there was a series of events, and I won't share like super big deep details just to protect some people. But long story short, I had too many people involved and there wasn't the right intentions. We weren't on the same page. It was my company. I had put all the money into it, put everything on the line. And it just backfired. And essentially I lost a really good relationship through it. And she was a very good friend of mine. And after that, it was like, I just was really broken after that because I just felt like, gosh, I have just been trying so hard for so many years. And I'm like trying to do my best and I'm working my ass off. And I would look around and I'd see all these people that started at a similar time that I did, before TikTok, before COVID, all that. And I'm like, everyone seems like they're just doing it. They're all going up in a straight line. And here I am having like this explosion situation. I feel like I'm losing everything. My parents were going through a divorce. I was at this place in my life where I'm like, I have no one to call. Like I lost my best friend. I was like I felt like I couldn't even do my business without, it was too messy where I had to like pause BRÜLÉ because I had to clean up the dynamics that were under the surface. And so I was like, I don't have my business. My parents were like, I couldn't go home. So I was just alone and I was like, fuck. And I had so much, weight from my wellness business that I was holding, not from BRÜLÉ, but from my wellness business. I had done a product line. I'd done an app. I had taken out like a big loan for the app. And I just had so much weight on my shoulders. And a lot of nights where I just like didn't know if I wanted to I had really morbid thoughts. Like, I don't want to be here. I just was like, I want my clothing line. I want to be a mom. Like, I'm working hard every day and this is not working. And I was so full of anxiety. And I think ultimately, like, to be complete, I just was sad and I was scared because I was like, I have so much weight and I don't have anyone to call. Like, I didn't feel like I had anyone to call. So I ended up putting one of my companies through bankruptcy, the one that was like really heavy on my shoulders, because I was working so hard with BRÜLÉ and I was just like taking the money and like paying for that off. And my whole mindset during that time was like, you were bad. That's how I thought of myself. Like, you tried so many different things and that was bad. Like, you made such a mess and now you have to clean it up. And that's kind of how I was operating. And then when everything exploded, I just was like, I need this weight off my shoulders. Like, I really need to start over. So I went through that process. And that was, when you asked what broke the pattern, it was that process.
Do you know how many people on this podcast are listening and being like, oh my God, it's so incredible for her to be open about bankruptcy? How many people do we see online trying to make everything look like it's tied in a bow and it's perfect and there's no bumps? It's all bumpy. It's a bumpy ride for anyone, for any business. I just think that is cool, in my opinion, and refreshing for you to open up about bankruptcy. And to me, like, as a business person, some things are like part of the journey.
It was the smartest decision I've ever made in my entire life.
Can you speak on that?
Here's the thing. It was something that, and this is just me. I'm a little bit of a born rebel, and like, I love, like, you say go left, I'm gonna go right. Just, that's how I am. So like, if something is if something's bad, I'm like, I just want to know why it's bad. But the way I was raised, like, this would be, I don't even know what my grandparents think, but like, it was just a no-no. Like, we follow the rules. Taxes are paid on time. Like, there's a budget. Every end of the month, I would hear my dad say to my mom, we're getting low on money. You got to watch the groceries. So it was like, bankruptcy was like, what? Are you okay?
It's like taboo.
And like, your life is over. Your absolute life is over.
It's a dirty word.
It's a dirty word. I didn't even, so yeah, I decided to do it. I got a really good lawyer and it's all in your mind, because you can take that and be like, yeah, my life's over. I'm never gonna get a house. I'm never gonna have a car. My credit's gonna be bad. I did my own research. I'm like, okay, there's a lot of really successful, very smart business people who have gone through bankruptcy. I started to like really research, what is it actually? Like, why is it so? It was so amazing. I had to go through all my finances. So it was really helpful to like really learn like what happened and all of that. But I made up my mind, and there's two things. I was like, one, this is not the end. This is my beginning. And I am going to do it right. Like, I made a promise with myself. I'm not going to do this and do anything repeated ever again. I have to get it right this next time.
Do you realize, though, too, that you wouldn't have gotten to where you are now without all this?
Oh, without a doubt.
So how'd you decide to do it right?
I'm doing BRÜLÉ. So I went through that whole process. As I was finishing that process, I kind of came out of the closet online and just like really showed the world who I was and what I thought.
And what did that look like? Let it rip.
Look, this has nothing to do with politics. It was just during an election. And I just was like, started to be vocal during the election.
And when you start to be vocal during the election, because you're not a stranger to pushback, what does that look like?
So there was a lot of pushback, but it was like I said, this was not about I was never even a registered voter, okay? People would be like, Kenzie, you're so political. I'm like, no. It was like a catharsis of getting out all the pent up anger I had towards the internet since 2019.
Good for you.
So I got a little bit of pushback and I wrote it. I screenshotted every Reddit troll that's ever said anything. I put it on my stories. I told the internet, I was like, if you talk about me, I'm posting you. You clearly want attention. And I just let it rip. Not one person, I haven't checked in a while, but I have not seen one negative comment about myself since then.
What do you mean?
I called them out. They just want to be.
You took the air out of it.
Yes.
So that to me is like a stepping stone that got you to where you are now with what you did politically.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone's listening and they're like, I don't know what she's talking about, explain what you did.
You don't need to know. No, I'm just kidding.
You're all Google me. So Reddit search me.
It's wiped.
But just explain, give us like a little peek behind that curtain of what, when you say it's cathartic, what do you mean? If someone's listening, they're like, I don't know what she's talking about.
I said what I thought during the election. So what I noticed and what always bothered me and what still bothers me is everyone is like the same. Like everyone just agrees with each other. They all like, okay, during the election, for example, we didn't even know who people were actually voting for. They would just say they're voting for someone to fit in with the other person, or because it was cool, or because it was acceptable. So what I did essentially is took anything that was acceptable and I said and posted the exact opposite.
So give us an example.
Oh, Lord.
You made hats?
Okay, yes. I made hats. But the hats were like, I put Gone Rogue on the hat because I'm trying to think of an example. I just would post things. Like I would repost things. I would share things. I would, I would say, it's going to be political, but people would be like it's all started because someone said, are you voting right or left? And I said right. And that's how the whole thing started. And because I got pushback and I took that and I was like, so then my whole stance during that whole time was, why can't we disagree and still be one? Like, why do you have to announce that you're unfollowing me? Why? So that became the whole talk. So I would say things and then someone would be like, I'm unfollowing you. And then I would post that. And then I would call them out and I would create this whole wave about that. So during that time, this is actually amazing. During that time, I made these hats and they said Gone Rogue on them because I was like, Kenzie Burke's going rogue. The guy who made the Gone Rogue hats was like, you are so cool. I love what you're doing. He was like, anything you want, I'll hook you up with. So I had just finished going through my whole bankruptcy process. Because I had to really pull back making money during that time. So I was gearing up. I had BRÜLÉ's design. I knew this was I had this whole plan. I was like, I'm going to first unleash myself. I'm going to show the internet who I am. Because I don't want to hide anything. And even saying that I went through bankruptcy, and I know I alluded it to on my Substack, but I was going to tell this story. I was never going to keep it. I was always I'm going to go through it. I'm going to share it. Because if I would have heard someone say this during a time when I felt so much weight on my shoulders, oh my God, it would have changed my life.
That's why it's so important for you to talk about this.
Yeah.
It really is. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of people who are listening that are breathing a sigh of relief.
Yeah. I mean, money is so stressful and so hard. And especially when you don't grow up with it. And I'm not a Nepo baby. I haven't lived you hear so many stories now. I started this business with $500 and you lived with your boyfriend.
Right.
And you didn't have to pay rent. You know how hard it is to start a business and have to be worrying about all this shit on your shoulders? I mean, I didn't even have Christmases or Thanksgivings for years because I was just working, trying to doggy paddle.
One thing I am very excited about is my hair growth. I have had such a hair transformation. I wish I could go back and take all these videos of what my hair used to look like when it was fried and blonde and there was clip-in extensions, because it's really, really had an evolution. I eat so many organs too. I eat a lot of liver. And I think that and the amino acids have really helped to grow my hair. And then, of course, strategic supplementation. And the supplement that I take to support my hair journey is Nutrafol. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand. It's trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months. And that's what I noticed was less shedding. That's something that I noticed I would shed on my silk pillowcase. Having a good supplement really helps with the shedding is what I've noticed the most. And honestly, if you're looking for a gift this holiday season, they have you covered. Seriously, this holiday season, Nutrafol is the perfect gift for anyone on your list. So it could be your mom or your aunt going through menopause, or a friend who just had a baby and is experiencing a postpartum hair shedding. Maybe your husband or father who relies on his baseball hat to cover up. Or it could be yourself. Maybe you want to gift yourself, or anyone who's looking to support their overall hair health. Give the gift of confidence this holiday season with Nutrafol. Whether you're treating yourself or someone on your list, visibly healthier, thicker hair is the gift that keeps on giving. Right now, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription plus free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and use promo code SkinnyHair. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code SkinnyHair for $10 off.
All right, everybody, listen up. Big news. Branch Basics, one of our all-time favorite cleaning brands, is now available at over 600 Target stores nationwide and Target.com. I love this because Branch Basics is now widely accessible to even more people. Here's the thing. Branch Basics is all about redefining what clean really means. And what I love about this company the most is there's no toxic chemical cleaning supplies lingering in the house any longer if you make the switch. So if you're tired of toxic chemicals lingering in your home, it's time to make the switch now. You can grab Branch Basics products now at Target. Find their concentrate all-purpose cleaner, bathroom cleaner, and stain remover right on the shelves. Trust me, your home and your health will thank you. We've had Allison, the founder of Branch Basics, on this podcast twice now. Those are both incredible episodes. If you just search Branch Basics, The Skinny Confidential, you can listen to those episodes. And what really got to me after having those conversations was there is an alternative to get these hormone disrupting chemical cleaning supplies out of your house, and you can get the same job done cost effectively. There's also no reason to put things in the home that we know are causing health problems to so many people. So for me, it was a no-brainer. For my family, it was a no-brainer. It's safe for pets. It's safe for kids. It's safe for you, most importantly. And you don't have to stress any longer about these hormone disrupting chemical cleaning supplies in the house, but you can get the same cleaning job done. So check them out. Shop Branch Basics in 600 plus Target stores nationwide or Target.com. And of course, you can also use our code SKINNY15 to get 15% off at branchbasics.com/skinny15. Again, skinny15 for 15% off at branchbasics.com/skinny15. Let's talk about Bond Charge. Bond Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your health in every way. We love companies like this. Founded on science and inspired by nature, all Bond Charge products adopt ancestral ways of living in our modern day world. Their extensive range of premium wellness products help you sleep better, perform better, have more energy, recover faster, balance hormones, reduce inflammation. The list is endless, and I could shop all day long on Bond Charge. From blue light glasses and infrared saunas to red light therapy, all the things that we love and talk about on this show regularly. As I'm getting older in my years here, I've been noticing some wrinkles. Recently, I hope nobody else is noticing them, which is why I love their red light face mask. It helps with wrinkles and fine lines, helps with a sore jaw I clench at night, helps with eczema, migraines, which I've been getting my entire life, acne, and scar tissue. I have plenty of scar tissue on my face, unfortunately. Bad decisions, younger years. And what I love is that red light therapy has been reviewed in over 4,000 peer-reviewed studies with over 400 plus being double-blind placebo trials. We've talked about red light therapy on this podcast, and Bond Charge makes an incredible product with their face mask. All you have to do is use it 10 to 20 minutes each day. It's nice and easy to use. You can use it while watching TV, cooking a meal, putting the kids to bed. I like it when I'm laying down and just relaxing, reading, meditating. And what I like is it's both near infrared and red light to boost collagen and elastin production. So make sure to check them out. It's currently the Bond Charge holiday sale, so you can save a massive 25% off. Just head to bondcharge.com and your 25% code will be automatically added to your order. The sale will end on the 31st of December, 2025. So hurry and don't miss this massive chance to save big on your favorite Bond Charge products. Again, just go to bondcharge.com and your 25% code will automatically be added to your order.
We recently had the founder of Weight Watchers on our show, and she explained how Weight Watchers is very much on the pulse. So Weight Watchers isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's built for you. and it's evolved. They're a personal health solution designed to meet you where you're at in life. Today, Weight Watchers combines their proven science-backed behavior change program with new flexible options to make your journey more effective and sustainable. And if you qualify, you can access their prescription weight loss medication through licensed clinicians. Plus, you get one-on-one guidance from a registered dietitian for truly personalized care. The goal is to really hit and meet you where you're at with all the challenges in life. So if you're navigating menopause, or maybe you just had a baby, Weight Watchers really has something for everyone. The new Weight Watchers for Menopause program was developed by doctors, women's health specialists, and nutrition experts. And everything is designed and built to support your body and health during this stage of life. They obviously still have their signature points program, and it's now smarter and simpler than ever. It has enhanced app features, virtual workshops, and digital tracking tools to make healthy living more flexible, more intuitive, and more livable than ever before. Be sure to use code SKINNY for $10 off your first month of membership. Offer applies to select plans. Restrictions apply. Offer ends 12/31. Join today at WeightWatchers.com. That's WeightWatchers.com. Why do you think that the public is so intrigued with you?
Because I'm ballsy. And I think that, I don't know. I call myself, like I'm like Carrie from Sex and the City. A little bit, like I'm a little wild, I feel.
I can't believe I'm saying this out loud because no one's going to believe this. I never watched Sex and the City.
Oh.
So I'm going to need, you have like, what do you mean you're like Carrie?
I'm not like, there's this one scene, okay? This is how I see myself. There's this one scene and she's in love with this guy and this guy chooses this like beautiful 24-year-old who works at Ralph Lauren.
Okay.
And she's, like, why? And she realizes, oh, well, she's just plain. Like, she's just boring. Like, she's just easy. She's easy, right? And she's like this like wild, curly haired, just wild girl. And I think there's intrigue because I'm not afraid to like keep trying and there's so many times when like I could have given up. I could have given up after the bankruptcy thing. I could have given up after the wellness thing. I could have given up after the first time BRÜLÉ had a massive fallout. But like I keep popping up, and I think I'm for the right person. I'm not for everyone. I know that. I think a lot of people are perplexed by my existence, how I feel. And then I think there's some people that I like give them hope, honestly.
I think what's cool that I'm actually learning about you in this interview is you mentioned that you are an artist. And now that I've like read your Substacks and I've consumed so many of your products and like worn them, you are an artist. And I think what your superpower is that the decisiveness, you are decisive in your indecisiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So the indecisiveness is what makes you interesting, and it is a decisive decision. Does that make sense?
I have a lot of conviction.
Yeah, I think like you're right. You can't design for spring because you'll
I'm not
get
gonna
inspired
like it.
by something else.
Yeah.
I think too, people so badly want to put people into a box and tie it with a bow and like present it with the gift tag card, and it's like you're unwilling to have that projection from them and put yourself in a box. And you know what else I will say? You could have dated some old rich millionaire and easily gone that route too, because you're beautiful, and you haven't. You've sort of been like, I'm going to do it my way and fuck your opinion.
Yeah. I feel like it's just not my path. I think a huge part of why I'm here and what I'm supposed to do is to like not do that.
Yeah.
I really feel that. I feel like God, universe, whatever. There was many nights where I was like, all right, let's just get pregnant. Where is he? But I don't think that was never, I know I have had to do this. Like I have to do it. And I know I have to share it. And that's why I made that promise is like, I'm going to do BRÜLÉ and I'm going to share the whole part of it. I shared on Substack. Like I'm going to share the actual emotional process and the messiness and all of that. I'm not going to just say, here's this beautiful shirt. I want people, obviously some people don't have to like read or to hear the story or anything, but I want people to, I want to share what it actually takes to do something, because all we see now is like, here's my sweatshirt and it's so cute and like next, you know, and that's just not the process.
I love that about your line. I really do. When you declared bankruptcy, what were the cons, if there were any?
I don't want anyone to like take this as financial advice. I'm the last person who should be giving financial advice, but everyone said that my life, not everyone, it made it seem like I'm going to have a hard time.
Right.
Okay, I am through it. I have my dream company. I'm driving a Range Rover, and I have a stunning apartment in my name in full that overlooks all of West Hollywood. Now, did I get all that because I'm perfect on paper at this moment? No. But like, I have conviction, and I had this mindset of, here's the thing. It wasn't that I didn't make money. I made money. It was that I had too many things going on. So at least I had like in my head, I had receipts, you know what I mean? I have bank accounts, I have statements to be like, I make money. Like I'm not just this person with bad credit. So I was able to rebuild my life really fast. But I think that was the negative thing of for me, it was like, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to be like stuck. Like, oh, like I'm not going to be able to like drive a car or get anything. But again, not giving financial advice, but the world is set up to make you afraid. Like, oh, if you do that, that's bad. And then you're put in this category. It's not true. It's just simply not true. Now, if you don't have conviction, you don't have like willpower, and you're just going to file and be like, oh, I suck, then yeah, like you might struggle. But I just was like, no, I generate money. I'm a hardworking person. I haven't made money, you know?
Also, bankruptcy to me is like college.
Yeah.
Like everyone tells you like you have to go to college. When I was young, they're like, you have to go to college and you have to graduate and you have to get your degree. But like I kept being like, is this just something that you were taught and you're passing what you were taught down to me? And bankruptcy is like that too. Just because they were taught a negative connotation doesn't mean that you need to, again, go. There's like, I feel like anyone can get out of anything if they want. And there has to be hope. Because if there's not hope, then you're sitting in your room, you mentioned morbid thoughts, and your brain is going negative, negative, negative. Anything can be spun into gold if you're clever enough.
Well, bankruptcy is actually there to help you. That's why it was invented. It's actually there to help give you a reset. So I got a really good lawyer, and he was so like, he had to look at my books and look at my stuff, and he was like, you're brilliant. Like, he was like, you're going to be so successful. Let's just get you through this. Because he saw like the stuff I was finding, it was from like 2020. Like it was just like COVID. And I mean, that was the beautiful part of it, is like so many people fumbled during COVID, you know, so many businesses fumbled during COVID. So I think that was a positive for me, but it's there to help you. Again, it's like, do your own research, because so much of the world is going to make you afraid and like, oh, you have to have perfect credit. You have to do this. You have to be this. It's like, for what system? I personally don't live in those systems. Like, that's just not how I operate. So when I really started to weigh my options, I'm like, I already don't exist in this society. I never have. So how is this really going to negatively affect me?
So after you declared bankruptcy and you got through sort of that chapter and you start relaunching your brand, what does it look like to rebuild? And you mentioned like now you have a place overlooking West Hollywood and the Range Rover and all these things, but what's the in between of that?
I just was clear. I was clear the whole time doing it. I was like, I'm doing BRÜLÉ. I'm doing it the exact store model that I wanted to do the first time. There's absolutely no middleman. There's no one involved. I will not let anyone involved. I stopped talking about it to people. I stopped telling people. I just put my blinders on. I got everything ready. The guy who made the Gone Rogue hats was like, whatever you want, I'll help you with. I was like, I need a manufacturer who's X, Y, and Z. No middleman. I want to be there every day. I want to be in the factory. And I want someone who's not going to screw me over, because I'm so tired of being screwed over. And he gave me this business card. I went to this address. I showed up. I had my first patterns already made. I made them last year. That whole time BRÜLÉ was on that pause, I was working on it. So I was ready. I was like fully locked and loaded. And I found my manufacturer. I launched it again on my birthday this past year in March. And I moved to LA, to West Hollywood, because I was like, I'm doing it. Like, I'm doing this brand. Nothing, you would have to literally forklift me out of my apartment and lock the doors to the factory to get me to not do, like, nothing's going to stop me this time. And I do everything myself right now, like everything. I ship, graphics, emails, everything. I have no help. That's going to have to change. But that's it. Like, I had so much time. That was the beautiful thing about going through that process. It's not an overnight process. So I had all of that time to sit and get my ducks in a row and get ready and be clear. And now I'm just like, you can't stop me.
There's I don't know if it's a chapter or whatever in Art of War. And it's about knowing when to, I'm probably going to flub this, knowing when to strike and knowing when to stop. And using absence as a weapon and not as a negative. And I think you're a really good example of that is sometimes you have to just stop and collect your thoughts to get clear on what the next move is. Like in war. Like you have to stop to speed up. Does that make sense?
Without a doubt.
And I feel like you had to do that so you could get really clear on what you're doing. And you've created a business that is really, it lines up to the life that you want. Meaning when you said like you drop stuff and then you stop and you drop stuff and you stop, it's like you sort of like created your own future. You did create your own future and you set it up to be your personality too, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
Like instead of just launching a line and like putting it out, like you said in designing for spring, you're like, no, I'm not going to do it that way. This is the way my brain works and this is the way that works best for me. And I think personally as a customer that it creates excitement and you know you have to buy because the shop's going to close.
Yeah.
Right?
I designed the store model based off of everything I learned about myself in the past 6 years.
Yep.
I was fantastic at launching things. That's why I had to file for bankruptcy in the first place, because with the wellness business, I just kept making things. I'll make an app, I'll make a product line, I'll do this, I'll do that. I love to create something and I love a launch. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I love a launch. I love to make the whole story around it. I just love it. So I knew, and this is why I wanted to do it the first time, but I knew that about myself. And so I knew if I can create a business and my clothing line, which I always will love clothes. I've always wanted to do this. If I can make it where it's like, I can literally have an idea, okay? Here's the collection and I want to do it next month. And I can create it and put it out and make this whole launch. And then it goes out into the world. And what I found for sales, at least, is like people buy on demand. Like I would have my best things on a launch day or on a sale.
Right.
I don't want to put my stuff on sale ever because it's so high quality and it's made here in LA. Like it's just not, I don't want to ever do that. So my whole idea behind it was like, okay, if I open and close the store, it pushes that drive. If the store is only open for a week and this drop is live now, and I don't know if I'm going to bring it back, it forces people to go make their sale. It also then closes that time capsule and then I can create again, which it is a lot of work, but it fits who I am and it's mentally stimulating for me.
It's cool for me to see you get to hear from the podcast. Like I enjoy watching all the ups, the downs, the struggles, but also like you coming out of the ashes like a phoenix. It's really cool. It feels very 360.
So many times during the day, I just want a drink that feels real, something bubbly and cultured that tastes great and actually heals my gut. That's why I've been drinking so much Synergy kombucha. Both at the studio and at home, our fridge is always stocked with Synergy. Here's the thing. This is real kombucha. No shortcuts. It's always raw and never pasteurized. Synergy is made with real organic ingredients that you can see and taste. And that's how you know they're working. You're getting scientifically backed benefits with every sip, like gut health, digestive support, immunity, and protein absorption. Synergy is the OG kombucha, and I've always loved their story, which goes back 30 years. Founder GT Dave first began brewing in his parents' kitchen in 1995 after his mother's breast cancer diagnosis. Inspired by her recovery and the healing powers of kombucha, he kept perfecting the recipe and eventually shared it with the world. That very same recipe is what you'll still find on shelves today, crafted with authenticity and trusted for its real benefits. Each bottle delivers 9 billion living probiotics across a diverse spectrum of beneficial bacteria you won't find in your average supplement. That diversity comes naturally from the way each batch is slowly fermented. These living cultures work hard to help your gut thrive. And when your gut microbiome is more diverse, the benefits multiply, all working to make your gut feel better. It's a daily reset for your body any time of day that you'll actually feel. And Synergy doesn't just improve your wellness, it also tastes great. There are over 20 bold flavors, so you'll definitely find one that you love. I've been into Synergy forever, and I usually gravitate towards the tropical flavors, but this fall, I've been reaching for more flavors that celebrate the season. Honeycrisp apple, cranberry, blood orange. They really have a flavor for everyone. Each one is tangy, vibrant, and naturally bubbly. There's a party in every bottle. There's a reason kombucha is my go-to, and of course, there's a reason it's always Synergy. They were the first bottled kombucha, paving the way for kombucha as we know it, and it's been the #1 in the US and worldwide for over 30 years. So sip it, love your gut, and feel the power of kombucha when it's crafted the right way. The Synergy team can't wait for you to experience the gut health benefits of real kombucha, so they're treating you to a free bottle. Just slide into @Synergy Kombucha's DMs on Instagram and send them the code SYNERGYSKINNY to claim your coupon. That's @Synergy Kombucha on Instagram. Drop the code and sip on your complimentary bottle while supplies last. This episode is brought to you by Saks Fifth Avenue. I like to be as efficient as possible when getting all of my holiday gifting. I have a special wrapping paper color that I do every single year. I switch it up, and then I usually stick with a monochromatic bow. And I like to get all my gifts in one spot. And I'm going to give you the easiest way to find a holiday gift and inspiration. So all you have to do is go to Saks.com. And they have the gifts for even the pickiest people on my list. They have a curated holiday wish list that you can forward to your family. They have so much holiday inspiration for hosting the perfect holiday party or dinner. They really have everything on the agenda. So what I like to do when I go to Saks.com is I'll search through the categories. They make it really, really simple for you. Everything's organized at the top. So they have designers, new clothing, dresses, shoes, bags, jewelry, accessories, beauty. And I'll go to like the home section, okay? And I'll click and you can see all the featured designers. They even have the holiday shop. You can shop home. And if you just want something so simple, they literally have a category called holiday gifts. They have gifts for her, gifts for him, stocking stuffers, holiday decor, holiday hosting, ornaments, even gift cards if you're in a last minute pinch. They seriously have thought of everything when it comes to gifting. Shopping should be personalized and easy this holiday season. Simply head to Saks Fifth Avenue for inspiring ways to shop for everyone on your list. That's Saks.com. I am huge on the protein. I eat a lot of protein. That is how I lost 60 pounds with my first baby. It's how I lost 50 with my next. And now I'm on the journey of losing 50. I have about 20 pounds to go and I will be eating a ton of protein. But what I've learned about protein is you need fiber with it, okay? Fiber and protein are so important to eat at the same time. So enter Belly Welly Fiber. We had the founder on our podcast and she talked about how fiber is so great for weight loss. Or even if you're on a GLP-1 and you're dealing with digestive issues, you want to make sure you're taking a fiber. Belly Welly Fiber keeps you regular and hydrated, which we love. It curbs cravings instantly if you drink it in the morning because it really feels like it fills you up. Belly Welly Fiber is the only 1 in 4 fiber. It contains fiber, probiotics, collagen, and electrolytes. There's nothing like it. I tried it. I loved it. My kids really like it. The best fact that I learned though about fiber is that it binds to excess estrogen and it flushes out of your system.
So it's getting your hormones in check. You'll notice a difference in just a week. It really does get the toxic waste out of your system. Next time you're at Target or Walmart, look for a bright pink Belly Welly lid or grab it on Amazon or bellywelly.com today. You'll feel a difference right away. Next time you're at Target or Walmart, look for the bright pink Belly Welly lid or grab it on Amazon or bellywelly.com today. Be sure to use code SKINNY. That's bellywelly.com, code SKINNY. Black Friday, Cyber Monday is coming in hot. If you go to shopskinnyconfidential.com, you can shop all your favorites for 30% off site-wide. There is no code necessary. I should also let you know we have TSC Pilates socks while supplies last that you get for free with each purchase. What I would get if you are on the site is I would for sure grab the mint roller. That's a no-brainer. It's such a good gift. I would get a couple of those for your friends, for your family. And then the brow peptide, which is my personal favorite product we have, has completely transformed my brows and my lashes. How I use it is I habit stack it with my skincare routine. So in the morning, I just brush my brows as the last step. And then at night, before I go to bed, before I put on my mouth tape, I put on my brow peptide. And what's in the brow peptide is castor oil, which encourages hair growth. I've noticed a really big difference in my brows the most, but also lashes. It has a peptide in it, so it's minimal ingredients. And then I also feel like you have to grab the mouth tape. We have navy mouth tape now, and we have cream mouth tape. That is such a fun gift to give all your friends, and it's affordable. So you can go on the site, shop 30% off site-wide. Just go to shopskinnyconfidential.com, and you want to shop the sale quick because Pilates socks, they're so cute. I wore mine the other day. They say TSC on them. They have like a navy stripe, and it's only while supplies last. Go to shopskinnyconfidential.com and grab all your favorites at 30% off. What would you tell the girl who was in bed having these morbid thoughts? Like, what advice would you give to her now?
Yeah, it would just be to keep going. And I know that sounds so simple, but it's like the words strive for more keep coming to me. It's just like, it is possible. And I think for me, allowing myself to just sit in my messiness gave me everything I ever wanted. The manufacturer I have now for BRÜLÉ is like, I couldn't have dreamed up a better scenario. It's a 55-year-old man who does designer clothing. It's him and I all day, every day. He can make anything on the spot. Like, he believes in me. He hasn't asked for a thing from me, but he like wants this for me just as bad as I want it for myself. And I spend all day, every day with him. And I couldn't have dreamt up a better situation, but it didn't come until I got like, I think that when you feel morbid, and maybe this was just my experience, but it's like, I think you're just running from things, whether it's like your feelings or like your feelings. Like, I think that doesn't come in unless you are running from something. And so when I faced my things, like that financial weight, like that was making me not, like it was too hard, it felt too hard. I didn't know how I was going to deal with it. So when I finally faced that, and then when I faced the online trolls, when I faced the internet and was just like, this is who I am. And I hope you buy my designer clothing after, but like, if you don't, I don't care. When I did both of those things, that is what has given me this door to the life that I really want. And it's like, it truly has happened. It's really happened. I'm through the ashes and I know I am. And so my advice is to like not hide from it and to look at it and to do whatever you can. Like, I've moved so many times. I tried so many different things. And just keep trying. Because at some point, I literally thought it wasn't going to happen for me because it felt like 5 years of just throwing things against the wall and just like nothing was coming back. But one day it just came back. And that would be my advice, is to just like try and to keep going and to face it. That's the biggest thing, is just like face whatever you're running from.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about you? Where does the internet get you wrong?
I feel like the internet, I don't know. I mean, it's basic, but like they don't know me. That's what I would say.
But what's the misconception about what they don't know? Like, where are you like that they got that wrong?
For me, I feel like I come from such a pure-hearted place. Like everything I do, even if it was in wellness, I comes from I try to come with so much truth and intention. So I feel often like misunderstood. Like I feel like maybe not seen in that way. But I don't know. I don't know.
I think
What do you think?
I would actually agree with you. I think knowing you personally, I do think you come with such intention. And I think that they don't understand that the indecisiveness is your superpower that's gotten you here.
Yeah. I would say that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that they don't realize that that's actually like the thread.
The juice.
Yeah. And I think that they maybe hopefully through this interview, they'll realize that the indecisiveness, if you don't try and you just sit in it, then you end up 85 years old on your deathbed wishing you had.
Yeah.
And I think that there's something endearing to watch someone go through the struggle and come out the other side. But the biggest misconception about you, I would say that I do think you do come with good intention and you do come with purpose, which is why you're so passionate about it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think after all of this is the boldest risk that you've taken after looking back on your whole journey so far?
Wow. I wouldn't say it's the bankruptcy. That was like the smartest decision I made. I mean, the boldest might have been going a little wild because I feel like I didn't know what was on the other side of that.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't know. I knew exactly what I was doing. I had BRÜLÉ designs ready. I knew the timeline of things. Like I knew that I was going to do what I'm doing now. And I still took that chance to like be myself. And that, you know, so many people were like calling me like, what are you doing? You know?
Really?
Yes. A lot of people were like, fuck yes. And some people were just like, are you like, what are you going to do after this? You know? But at that point I was like, I don't care. I've lived so many places. I've gone through bankruptcy. Like I've done so many things. You're not like, this is nothing. And yeah, so I think that was the biggest risk I ever took, was just like really facing that stuff head on and talking about the most controversial thing I could have talked about at the time.
It's so wild that we can't have different political opinions. It's crazy. I like to talk to people for a living that have all different kinds of opinions. If I'm hosting a dinner party, you better bet there's 12 colorful people at the table. I hope there's all different kinds. If you're sitting at the table or you're sitting with a bunch of friends or a bunch of business partners that are all shaking their head and agreeing.
Boring.
Oh,
it's so boring.
Let me out like Old Yeller.
Yeah.
Like, no thanks. I mean, I don't understand how people, like, you want to surround yourself with everyone that is just like confirmation biased energy.
Yeah. It's boring.
Yeah. But listen, if that's what people like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I like to constantly challenge my opinions, and I like to hear different opinions, and I like to, I don't know, maybe I'll change my opinion. I don't know.
And change my mind.
Yeah. I might change my
mind.
I might change my mind. Okay. Your clothing line. I personally have bought in a lot of pieces from your brand. I love them. I'm obsessed with your jeans right now, but and I'm asking you live on the show, you have to show us and I know you do show us already, but we need like details of how Ariel was saying, my photographer, she was saying like, you have to show us exactly how to wear it. Cause I think you're talking to a kindergartner. I like to be told like
what to do.
Yeah. Like I need you to say like, this is how you wear it with this. Like you have to show us like 10 different looks.
Yeah. I'm going to start doing videos
Please.
with you in mind.
Okay. Yeah.
That's really helpful.
Because my thing is, it's not that I don't love the style and the taste and the fashion. I love it all. I'm really into it, but I'm running out the door.
Yeah.
And I have 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm throwing it on and I didn't pick it out the night before and I've probably overpacked. So I'm overwhelmed and my kids are hanging off my butthole and I just need to be told like, okay, here's 17 ways to wear it.
Yeah.
And this is flattering and this is maybe going to make your boobs look bigger, but this one will maybe be more flattering. Like I just need 100 ways to wear each thing.
I'm gonna start a series with you in mind.
Okay.
But I design everything to be that. That's my whole thing. So like the jeans you're talking
I
about.
love those jeans.
I designed those jeans. They are great with flip-flops. They're great with heels. All you need to do is throw on a belt, and then you can put on a pair of like black boot heels, and all of a sudden you have more of an elevated pair of pants, whereas you can roll them up and wear them with flip-flops and a t-shirt in the summer. So that's how I like to dress, and that's my whole model with BRÜLÉ is like I want to create things, and I do only create things that you can wear 100 different ways, because I want and this was always my vision with it, and it still is such a part of my life. If I find a pair of pants that I like, I will wear them every day.
Okay, so the series, I feel like if we're just brainstorming, it's like 20 ways.
20
That's
ways
the
to
series.
wear these pants.
20. You just call it 20 ways, and you show us how to wear it 20 different ways. Like, I don't know if it's like, I just need like 20 ways so I can screenshot it. It's on my phone.
Okay, I'm going to start it.
If you were to pick one thing from your line right now that the audience could go shop, what are you picking?
I just put out these really cool low rise. Did you see them?
I don't think I've seen them.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Low rise.
They're these like low rise, no waistband pant made out of bull denim. They're almost like a trouser / jean.
I don't think I saw them.
And they're so cool. And then also these.
Yeah, the ones that you're wearing, you guys should go watch YouTube. They're kind of like dark green.
I brought
Explain.
these for you.
They're so cute.
In a different color. They're a trouser.
Okay.
With a pleat. And then we've got this like tie thing right here.
So
they're
cute.
so comfortable, but they look dressy.
Should
So
I
you can
go
dress them
in
up
the
and
other
down.
room and put them on after this so when we take our picture?
Yeah, you should.
Or is that weird to be wearing matching pants?
No, I brought them for you in a different color.
Okay.
And I made the kids
Perfect.
stuff.
Oh my God. My kids are going to love it.
Yeah.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
Can
And
you
they
tell me
match
what you
you.
made them?
So I made you these pants, and then I made, but in this like stone color, and I made Zaza a little baby version in the same color as you.
Oh my God.
And then I made Towns and Bond little pants in this green. And all of
my
you have
God.
matching shirts because you like that white t-shirt, right?
I love your white.
So
That's a
I
good
made
one.
you a long sleeve version of it, and I made all the kids one too.
That is so cute and so nice and so thoughtful. And I even know the person who's doing the sewing because I read your Substack, Francisco, right?
Yes.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's so sweet, and tell him that I say thank you. I love nothing more than to see a story like this. I find it really inspiring. I think it shows everyone who's listening or watching that you can make something out of nothing, and that the voice inside your head is so important. So if you guys are sitting around and you're talking negatively to yourself, try to flip it. Try to flip the narrative, because you always have to have hope.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. And I think your story is that it's hope.
Yeah.
Where can everyone shop BRÜLÉ and find you to follow you?
Kenzie Burke is my Instagram. And then shopbrûlé.com is BRÜLÉ. And Shop BRÜLÉ is BRÜLÉ's Instagram.
Big fan. Kenzie, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.